I ask no favor for my sex. All I ask of our brethren is that they take their feet off our necks.
And that little girl was me.
Go ahead.
You know, this my little thing. Okay. If you should ask for custody if the child is in danger and she's not fit to be a mother, right? And you have direct proof to verify that. Do not use a child as a pawn.
What the impacts of slavery, of what racism, what capitalism has done to Black people. So for him to have this opportunity to really give a moment to say, you are correct, we must figure out a way to understand Black people today. Instead, he laughed at him and made it a novelty and said, you really drank the Kool-Aid. So I think
Well, let's be clear. I always tell people we have to be real mindful of the Hispanic culture because Hispanics come from different places. Two demographics of Hispanics that vote Republican. Pretty sure the Hispanic coalition in Florida that he's meeting with is predominantly Cuban and Venezuelan because those.
Can I buy a vinyl?
You know, can I buy a?
So well versed and so phenomenal, whether you work on a register or you're in the C-suite, you have a skill set that's so needed that someone is willing to rent your time. They are leasing your time. Figure out your promise first, not your product. What is your promise?
And so when we're talking about facing challenges of people at high risk and targeted groups and minority population, it's trauma. So you got to think about what this person brings to the table. We're not always going to get it right. One thing that we in society don't want to appreciate anymore is apologizing. I apologize, I'm sorry. And so those words, I'm sorry, are so powerful. And so individuals don't expect everybody to get it right. But when you apologize and you're really listening to try to be better, then you do better.
Safely, when it's all said and done, the police is going to protect the state. And that is why the slaughter of Black bodies and Black people at the hands of the police is such an epidemic because they are trained and they commit to a training of policing.
So my book is about my struggle, but how I overcame it. And to let Black women know, and just women of all colors. And I'm not going to just say that it's just for Black women, but Black women, we need this. It's okay to say, I'm not okay. It's okay to go get help. If you can't have a child, that means your vagina is no better or no worse than the next person. Okay?
Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Truth to Power Hot Topic Tuesday. On top of that, you got your girl, co-host Dr. Candace Matthews, the accountability specialist. We have our other co-host, of course, the communication specialist, Mr. Wendell King II. And yes, we are here, and baby, we is ready to let the tea roll accordingly. Okay.
I love how you hit that second. I love that. Thank you.
How How you doing, Wendell?
I'm great. How have you been, Dr. Candace Matthews, with an
Oh,
eye?
you know me, honey. You know, I keeps the spoon to stir the good trouble, honey.
Well, you know, there is absolutely nothing wrong with good trouble, but I prefer bad trouble because if it's not chaotic, it's not really getting my attention. So,
Woo! Well,
boom.
okay. Well, but y'all too, that's a north side thing. That's what we do.
Okay, but while y'all make sure y'all share, and like. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We are Truth to Power Uncut because that's how we come at you raw and ready. Boom. So share, like, and please subscribe if you can. Doesn't cost you anything to subscribe.
Not at all. Well, first of all, it has been a hot, shall I say, weekend, week, everything. So it's like it was so like for us to kind of choose what we were going to talk about because we had so many hot topics here. Baby, 2020 is a reality show. Y'all understand me? Like
2020 is a reality show all within itself.
It's like another love of hip hop because there's always some foolishness going on. Okay,
and we enjoy all of it. We enjoy all of it, but just to give a little honorable mention of things that we were not going to have time to really go into detail about, but definitely we want to give a huge shout out to our African American child that was expelled over this fences controversy, and we definitely know that Kushner has been exposed for creating this shell company that was solely to benefit Trump. We have to talk about Georgia runoffs, but we're going to get deeper into that on next week because that is definitely a hot topic. Our eyes will stay on Georgia. And then we know Barr Raggedy Face has resigned, but he is finishing out his post. He's completing it. And today he sent Trump yet another static piece when he said that he does not feel like there's a need for a special counsel on Hunter Biden. So just to give a little boom boom to those people that we were not going to be able to talk about, but we will get to them soon. Back to you, Doc.
And guess what? And we will. Well, let's go on and jump right in. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna tell you what really has kind of like just threw me out into left field when I saw this about Vanessa Bryant and how her mother is suing her. Oh, let me give you the tea. First of all, this is a torrid domestic drama. Okay, it is. And it's like, first of all, it's a 48-page lawsuit. Okay, yeah, your girl did the fat chicken. Then Vanessa mom claims that the following one, she wants to be paid $5 million back pay. Okay, being her daughter's personal assistant and nanny to her grandkids. And then she also claimed, and it's also stated in a 48-page lawsuit, is that Kobe Bryant promised her, the late Kobe Bryant, promised her to take care of her indefinitely, right? First of all, this is repulsive, okay? It's repulsive. Erroneous. And then let's just look at this. So Vanessa was very candid, and can I say, very poised when she said this. She was saying that the lawsuit is frivolous and that it's disgraceful and hurtful at the same time. Now, how would you feel that your mama gonna sue you? Okay, I don't understand that shit. Wendell, on this?
Well, I mean, I think first off, it's very sad that it has come to this, that her own mother has become this angry, because this is anger. So I think that is terrible that it has come to. The question marks that I have are all going toward Vanessa, because if your mother has been there by your side all this time and we've not heard a murmur out of her saying that anything was wrong, then I'm questioning, what have you been doing to your mother? Like, have you been taking care of her? Have you been assisting her? Because this is obviously a mad day antidote, right? And I always say that on Mad Day is when everything that you felt that you didn't want to talk about comes out. That's why I say everything you tell a friend today, you're telling an enemy tomorrow. So you have to be very careful, even when it's family, because it leads me to question, okay, so Vanessa, have you been taking care of your mom financially? Because she's not going to just make this stuff up. One would say, well, that's her mother, so she should want to be there to help her take care of her kids. Yeah, but if she's sacrificing her own life to take care of those kids and to help her, that is a nanny, and you pay nannies. And that's just the reality. My mother used to always say, and my grandmother really held tight to it, you made those kids, not me.
Oh, that sounds just like my grandma.
Yeah. So if you made them, not me, if I'm going to help you, you need to help me. So I think that it's sad that it's gotten to this point. It's really sad that it's gotten to this point. And Vanessa she's a brown woman. She is a brown woman. So we know that their culture is very close to the Black culture when it comes to this type of thing. And so I'm thinking that Vanessa has walked into a new life.
Well, I'm going to say this, and I'm speaking as a Black woman. And I'm going to speak for my mama, okay? My mama ain't going to sue me. My mama going to pull up, okay? My mama going to be like, run me my coins. Okay, and my mom is gonna be like, I ain't watching their ass until you make sure you take care and make sure you have everything together for these kids. Because last time,
the difference in Black and brown.
That's the difference. Because see, my mama, she not finna sue your ass. My mama gonna pull up on your ass. That's she gonna. Okay,
well, look at Kiki
really want a lawsuit from her.
But look at Keke Palmer, Usher, Lil Bow Wow, Candy, like all Beyonce. Like if you think about Black families, your parents normally become your manager because they're gonna get paid to be there, right? They're gonna get paid to be there. But Vanessa's in a different position because she kind of inherited a lot of money that she was not the boss of, because Kobe was here and he was the boss of the money. And the way I see it is maybe Vanessa stopped taking care of her the way Kobe would take care of her.
Well, no, the whole thing about it was Mama said that Kobe was supposed to take care of her indefinitely. And she want Vanessa to adhere to that promise.
I'm not
mad at her. It's like, Mama, I'm not about to do none of this shit. And so Mama is like, oh, so you not? Oh, okay, then. Well, then let's see how I drag your ass in this courtroom and see what's gonna happen then. Then you gonna run me my coins. But a black mama gonna pull up on your ass and be like, look here, you gonna give me this because I did this for you. I done did this and I done did this, and I don't want to hear shit else.
Well, while we talking about shitty stuff, let's talk about Real Housewives of Potomac and the blow up between Giselle and Monique and Candace. So, I mean, I'm curious, as a Black woman.
Spell Candace's name wrong too.
Yeah.
All I know, I'm just gonna say this: that Giselle, based upon the shade that I kind of got a little peep of, is that it's hypocrisy. It is. It's hypocrisy. So let's just roll the beautiful bean footage and then we come back and unpack it.
Okay, boom.
His girlfriend at the time that it was just reality TV and it wasn't true. Thanks.
How do you know that? How do you know?
Because the lady who he's been dating for years, only waiting to drop these receipts for a while. She's a pastor, and she reached out to me a long time ago. She sent a bunch of screenshots, pictures of him in her bed and everything else. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going there. I don't play dirty. But since Giselle likes to play dirty, I'll go ahead and return since I'm here right now. But he's definitely been talking to another woman, and it's clear conversations. And if you'd like to see him, I got him in my little receipt book right here.
I don't have any reaction to that.
Well, then you can just go ahead and have this. He's always asking about her schedule. He's sending screenshots to her whenever he's doing his little church tours.
How do you know those texts are real?
You want me to call out his phone number? I'm sure she knows what his phone number is.
What's your motivation behind that?
410 Maul Bryant.
Is that his phone number?
Yeah, that's his phone number.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Does that upset you if that's his phone number, she just said?
I don't believe anything that comes out of Monique's mouth or anything that she has in her binder. I'm glad she's done some bindering. I knew she was coming to.
She said, for me,
make
it's
up
not a
whatever.
good idea to travel to Atlanta if you're working on putting your family back together again. He says, what are you talking about? She says, what am I talking about? And she screenshots the actual article.
Are we really listening to this? This is the
Husband
same
Jamal
person
Bryant
who tried to
back
run
together
crime
rumors.
to Bravo
He said,
because somebody was spreading
rumors.
true about her
What are
family.
you talking about?
Can we not?
It's
Can we
not real. It's reality
No, it's not.
TV.
It's
Did you want to
disgusting.
see?
It's disgusting.
What's
This is
my
your
reasoning
friend.
for bringing
This
this
is your
to light?
friend.
Well, if you want to
This
come
is
from my
disgusting.
family and my relationship, I'm coming right back to you.
Did you bring a full binder that you spent
I have
time
a
on
full
to come out of
binder
your busy
with
schedule
even a tab
to
for
put a
myself.
binder together to read verbatim what a hoe might have said about the pastor? It's pathetic and low.
Of course, I'm going to bring my receipts to back up everything that I'm saying. So while you sitting over here having fake fraudulent relationships with your ex, your kids ain't even happy about it. You sitting up here sitting like a darn fraud, bringing a different man onto the reunion every freaking year. I hope he's sitting behind you this year, Pastor Holy Whore.
Ooh.
Since you want to keep calling my husband Big Boy.
Is Jamal coming? No, of course not.
Wow. Your pastor boyfriend is slinging his big D all around his congregation, even in Atlanta as we speak, and you know it. You know it. You're a fraud.
Any reaction to this?
Of course she doesn't have a reaction because she knows it's true.
I'm curious to your position on it.
Well, my position is this right here. First of all, Giselle, you know you have a whole business relationship going on over there. And you over here, the main one over here, want to talk about how women need to be proper and how women need to carry themselves, but then you talking about men genitalias and talking about what size it need to be and all this here kind of stuff. How is that proper? I'm just saying. And then the man who you with last, for what I saw, is that you have a business relationship with this man. He ain't really your man, so you done did a Kenya Moore.
With Jamal?
No, with the guy who she's with.
No, she's with Jamal. She's back with Jamal Bryant. That's what the shade is. That's her children's father. That's her kid's daddy.
Sound like it's for TV.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much what old girl Monique and Karen, that's pretty much what they're saying. But here's my issue with this is, number one, Giselle has been very grimy and dirty to everybody. So I get it. I do get it. But I'm just a firm believer that kids are always off the table. And so Monique completely threw me off when she first started going through it because she made a comment and she said, your damn kids don't even like him. And I just don't like that because she has 3 daughters and Jamal is their daddy. And so she should never have entered those kids into the conversation.
Yeah,
in any way.
kids should be off limits.
Right. And especially to say they don't like their own daddy.
Yeah, see that right there, I'm just gonna be straight up. Okay. That right there will make you get windmilled on. Because see, when you around here bring something about my kids, okay, now the gloves is off. Now, see, when you want to come for me, then come for me, right? But don't come for my kids, don't come for my husband, don't come from my mom or my mother-in-law or any family members. So if you want to get down and dirty in the pig pen, get down and dirty in the pig pen with me. Well, that footage, again, is that same type of footage that'll get you windmilled on. Okay? Yeah. I'm just saying. What's your thought?
I'm anti-Andy. Like, I'm literally anti-Andy Cohen. I'm sick of him using a platform to take women and make them tear each other up, but more specifically Black women. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of them allowing this white gay man the opportunity to pimp them out on screen. Like, I'm sick of it. Monique is a hypocrite to me because the whole reason that she pulled Candace's hair is because Candace was friends with Sharice, a woman that went around telling her business that her best friend rumored, saying that she was cheating on her husband with the trainer and her last baby was by the trainer. But she windmilled Candace over that. But then at the reunion show, you do the exact same thing to Giselle that you say you windmill Candace over. So it's like, why? Like, what is the point of tearing down this Black woman? And I don't care how shady, I don't care how shady Giselle is. Giselle and Monique are not beefing right now. Monique went after Giselle because she couldn't go after Candace because of legal troubles, because of her pulling her hair on screen. So she stayed away from Candace because of legalities. So she chose to go after Giselle. And so I thought that was unfair. And I don't like Giselle. Giselle is my least favorite person. She's messy. She's grimy.
Her hair weave is awful.
Her hair weave is awful, but she's a beautiful woman in real life. She is a beautiful woman. And she is a boss because I've looked up all of her work and her perfume. I mean, not her perfume, her makeup and her skincare had made over $3 million in 2018. So this is a boss woman. Unlike Monique, you made your money off of your husband's money. And that's just your reality. So I just don't like the hypocritical side of it. Yeah, but I just don't like the hypocritical side. Huh?
She made her money just laying on her back and kind of
and that's just it.
Her ear.
Yeah, but she even cried in front of her on the screen. She cried in front of her pastor and the first lady and admitted that her attacking Candace had nothing to do with Candace. She said she's dealing with so much. Yeah, we know Chris treats you like shit. You know, your husband treats you like shit. And at y'all party in front of everybody, when every husband was supposed to say something that reminds them of their wife, everybody was doing these sweet, beautiful things, whereas your husband decided to act like he was sucking a dick. And he said that's what he thinks about. Yeah, but he said that's what he thinks about when he think of you, is you sucking his dick. Like,
look here, I'm gonna say it again, like my grandma would say, baby, you married that man for his money, and then all you doing is laying on your back and taking your big toe and scratching your ear. That's okay.
Grandma tough.
R.I.P. mommy, but that's what you meant.
Grandma is tough, but it is what it is. So I think the lesson to be learned with this is Black ladies and women, period. Stop allowing Andy Cohen to use you all to create this foolishness. Stop it. Stop it. You're making him a multi.
I like Andy.
I don't. You're making him millions of dollars and he's giving you crumbs, while at the end of it, you are destroying your name, your reputation, and your brand, while you're creating a stronger brand for him. I don't hate him, but I do see him. I see him for what he is. He's a messy fag, and he is using this show to use women, Black women in particular, to tear each other up for his own ratings. And I'm not okay with that. Monique, you are too rich. You are too grand. You are a boss lady. You were my favorite last season. Up until this season, I loved you, and I'm sure I will like you after this season. So we are not done. You have a chance to fix this. Stop allowing him to use you. Karen Huger, you know, you're my ultimate favorite, but I need you to stay in an old woman's place. You keep coming down off your throne and have dirt fights, mud fights with them. And then you want to say that you're the grand dame. If you are the grand dame, stay on your throne, because you did not like when they were talking about Mr. Green Eyes that you were supposed to cheat on your husband with. You did not like when your husband was going through tax evasion and was about to go to jail and they were talking about your business. So how dare you join in with Monique on this? You are a hypocrite too, sis. I love you to death. Giselle is dirty, but if you say that you are that girl, you have to stay that girl. When you come off your throne and take off your crown and have a mud fight, you become a peasant. Period. What's that?
With that, baby, do not get the pig pen over here fighting with the pigs, baby. You
can't have it both ways. Either you're gonna be that girl or you're gonna be that girl. You can't be both girls. Period. If you say that you are above that, you gotta stay above that. You can't say I'm gonna come down for a second. No, either you're above it or you're not above it.
And stand on it.
Because you did not like it. Like, that's the part that pisses me off with this whole thing, though, is that these are two women that hated when this was happening to them, but now they're doing it. The most hypocritical part about this is Monique is supposed to be a bad girl, but you want to fight the girl that's 4'9" and 89 pounds. But when Robin attacked you and y'all was fighting over that umbrella, you would not play with her. You backed up. When Sharice came to Candace's party, you ran from her. You grabbed your purse and hid it. Then when Ashley invited Sharice to her baby shower, you grabbed your purse and you hid it. This is the woman that actually was going around telling your business. But yet you were so mad at Candace that you had to put hands on her because she invited her to her party and was friends with her. But this is the woman that did it. You are a coward. And where I'm from, because a whole bunch of weak hoes like to run around saying that they team Monique because y'all weak hoes. Because the reality is, if Monique was that girl, she would have went upside Robin head, she would have went upside Giselle head, and she would have went upside Sharice's head a long time ago. She chose to go upside the girl's head that was no higher than her waist and that weighed more than her leg. So this is a weak hoe move. And I've made it very clear, and I said all the time, y'all weak hoes. If you think that what Monique did was correct, you are a weak hoe. Because a weak hoe is someone that says it's okay to go after the one you know won't fight you, but dodge the ones that you know will fight your ass. So you fight the ones that will fight you, but you're gonna go after the ones that won't fight you. You're weak. Period. And I said to people's face, you're weak. Hit me. Because don't get into a cage fight with somebody who you know you can't handle. Y'all want to have these arguments with people, but then when they overtalk your ass, you want to say, I don't blame her for hitting her because she always talking. No, they both always talking. It's not Candace's fault that she has more words to use than Monique. Period. But the other part of that is I've been on both sides of that. I've hit a hoe because I was scared they was getting ready to say something I don't want them to say. But I've also wanted that somebody wanted to hit because I was going to say something they didn't want me to say. So, and that's what happened in that moment. Monique did not hit Candace because she was that angry with Candace, because she should have been that angry with Ashley, because Ashley invited the same girl to her party. She hit Candace because she knew that Candace was reckless at the mouth and there was no telling what was going to fall out of her mouth. That's why she hit her. That's a weak ass move. But that's why I tell people all the time, everybody ain't Candace and Kenya, baby. Because I have a lot of words, but I hit first. So as soon as you lean in, I'm gonna hit you because I'm gonna protect myself. Y'all think y'all bad people dead. And I'm gonna help you get to your grave. If you think you're gonna lean in and hit me because you can't handle my words, don't have an argument with me. Don't go into verbal conflict with me if you can't handle what I'm going to say. Because I can handle what you're gonna say, but I can also handle you when you get physical. Try me. Y'all some weak hoes.
And I'm just gonna say I concur because I'm the same way.
I need some more.
Well, let's take another dive with this. So Congress finally reached a COVID-19 relief deal. Okay, so I want to make sure that everyone that's watching this, I want you all to know and know specifically what this COVID-19 stimulus deal, actually the COVID-19 relief deal, what does it entail? So let me go on and give the details, shall we? First of all, $600 stimulus check for adults, plus child, right? $300 per week in enhanced unemployment insurance for 11 weeks. $319 billion for small businesses, including $284 billion for loans given through the Paycheck Protection Program, $20 billion in EIDL grants, and $15 billion for live venues, independent movie theaters, and cultural institutions. $25 billion in rental assistance and extension of the eviction moratorium, right? Then $13 billion in increased SNAP and child nutrition benefits. $82 billion in education, with $10 billion dedicated to childcare. $7 billion to increase access to broadband. Billions for vaccine distribution and COVID-19 testing. Language ending surprise building for emergency and scheduled care. A tax credit for employers offering paid sick leave and extends the employee retention tax credit. Last but not least, $4 billion for the GAVI, the International Vaccine Alliance. So that is what that deal was entailed for that COVID-19 relief deal that was passed with Congress. So I want you guys to leave with the details of what that deal was for. Okay. And so now, me personally, I'm not going to get the stimulus money. However, but I will get the business benefits that fall with that. So, Wendell, it's been a lot of the Republicans, because this was a bipartisan agreement. And for those of you that don't know what bipartisan mean, that means that the Republicans and the Democrats agreed together. Okay. So this basically kept us, the United States, from going into an actual severe
shutdown.
And that's not what we want. Okay. Yeah. So Wendell, what is your take based upon everything that I said with those details?
It was a bunch of BS. 85% of everything you just called out was already in the CARES Act that was passed on May 15th, 2020 by the House of Representatives. And it sat on Mitch McConnell's desk for 2 months because their goal was to get it out before everything started to expire August the 1st. And they completely ignored it. The Republican Party completely ignored it. But the difference was it was more. It was putting more money into the hands of the American people.
Okay, so then let's do this. Let's roll the beautiful bean footage real quick, and then we're gonna unpack it.
Story out of Washington this morning. The House and Senate passing a COVID relief bill late last night, alongside legislation to fund the government through the end of September. Diana Olick joins us with the latest. Good morning, Diana.
Good morning, Mike. Yeah, after months of delays, disputes, and what seemed like endless debate, Congress finally cleared a $900 billion coronavirus relief package just before midnight last night, and with it, a $1.4 trillion bill that funds the government through the fiscal year. The final vote in the House was 359 to 53. The Senate passed it 92 to 6. 2 senators missed the vote. Now, it should be on the president's desk at some point, TBD, in the coming week. But in a statement yesterday, the White House said President Trump has pushed hard for months to send Americans badly needed financial relief. We look forward to Congress sending a bill to his desk imminently for signature. The bill puts an end to the uncertainty facing millions of unemployed workers whose benefits are set to expire at the end of this week, and to troubled renters who could have faced eviction at the end of this month. It's also a lifeline to small businesses that have been waiting on another round of PPP. The airline industry gets $15 billion, and $9 billion goes to the CDC and to the states to help distribute the vaccine. Now, many of the relief measures in this package expire in the spring, and Democrats have already said this is just a bridge to the next administration. So, Mike, stay tuned.
Yeah, exactly. And I was going to pick up right on that, because we can argue about, the size of this package relative to perhaps what was available before the election, relative to either side's hopes. But Democrats pretty clear saying that this is, just a step, and there's going to be more to come. It's unclear, though, given how difficult it was to get this done. Obviously, we have a Senate runoff to worry about in terms of figuring out the game plan here. But it's really unclear necessarily if there's going to be a lot of follow-on, appetite for more stimulus down the road.
Well, I think it's going to depend entirely on the trajectory of the virus, what we see with the vaccine rollout, how many people can get vaccinated, and how the economy is faring when we do get to the spring. But you can bet there's likely going to be much more on the table when the Biden administration takes over.
So, Wendell, what did you get from that?
Nothing. I got absolutely nothing other than what I knew going into watching that old clip. The reality is, the CARES Act that they put out on May 15th was extending the $600 per week for unemployment. It was giving another $1,200 into the hands of the American people. It was saying put $1,200 in the hands of every American person, versus the Republican Party pushing this only in tax people who pay taxes, and if they make less than $75,000. So there were a number of us that did not. I'm still waiting on my first $1,200. People are talking crap about the $600 versus $1,200. I ain't never got the $1,200. The people told me no. And I thought that was crazy that they told me no.
What you think they told me?
I know. They told us no, and that was completely unfair. But away from that, people are saying, okay, well, Nancy Pelosi should have been came to the agreement. No, they did not come to this agreement, because the first thing that the Republican Party said was drop that 600 to 100. And a lot of people forget that. The first thing is Mitch McConnell didn't bring it on the Senate floor until August 3rd. After that, it was passed May 15th. but he didn't put it on the floor until August the 3rd. So that was the first issue. But when he put it on the floor, they were just giving y'all $100 in your unemployment. There was no stimulus check coming after that. They did not want to give any city and state funding bailout because they were trying to hurt California and New York. It was a lot of pettiness in it. And they were trying to build this new FBI building in DC right next to the Trump Hotel for his own benefit. So there was a lot of reasons that the Democratic Party said, no, this is not going to happen. Some people are saying now, so now she's saying it's okay. Now the Democratic Party is saying it's okay for the 300. Yes, she is. But this shows how lackluster you all are as far as watching the news and taking back understanding. Joe Biden made it very clear that the first thing he was going to do was sign an executive order placing $3,200 in the hand of every American citizen once he takes office. So the reason Nancy was okay with this small bill for now, and she said it on repeat, that she's okay with it because she understands that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is already prepared to write an executive order to pick up the slack. So she's still winning. She's still getting what she wants. She's just giving y'all a little benefit to tie you over until 30 days. Because in 30 days, now 29 days, in 29 days, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will be president and vice president of the United States. So what she's saying is this should be enough to cover you for 1 month until we can do the rest. So I'm okay with the bipartisan bill. What I'm not okay with is the far right and the far left. You have the AOCs of the party and the Bernie Sanders of the party and the Ilhan Omar of the party, of the Democratic Party, that's saying, we need more. Girl, we know. We know. Nancy is already, they know. They wanted more. It was in all the bills. But the reality is this is one of those cases as you can't please everybody. If Nancy Pelosi would have continued to fight and we would not have gotten anything passed, they would have continued to blame it on the Democratic Party. But what Nancy decided to play chess, as you love to talk about. She decided to play chess. We know that on January 20th, our boy will be in office. And he's going to write an executive order that will not need the Senate, even if the Republicans win the Senate. They won't need y'all because all they need is the House of Representatives, because the House of Representatives controls the bank, controls the money. And that's all they will need. We got them covered. Boom. Right? And then the far right, what irritates me with them is because some of them are still so afraid of Donald Trump that they are still focusing on this crazy taking back the election, still in the election, that they're still not focusing on the American people.
Look,
so this is ridiculous.
I don't understand that.
It's ridiculous.
I just don't understand that at all. Like, dude, your boy lost, okay?
It's
He
disgusting.
lost 30 million times. You finna get your ass up out the damn White House, okay? And
it's like the kindergartners fighting over crayons. You know, it's like the kindergarten fighting over crayons. Like,
you about to go to jail too, bro. You about to go to jail.
You have bigger issues right now.
Yes, you about to go to jail.
Yeah, you're about to go to jail. So that's where I'm at with it. But as far as the CARES Act, I'm glad that it's finally been passed. Yes, I think that it's ridiculous that it's only $600. Yes, I think it's ridiculous that it's only $300 extended unemployment income and only for 11 weeks, which means it's ultimately $3,300 that they're giving them. So yes, I do think that that's all ridiculous, but I think it makes complete sense for the Democrats to say, you know what, we're going to agree to this because we win, and y'all know we win, because when Joe Biden walks into the office and he signs that executive order, we're still going to get everything we wanted. So y'all let's do this now, and we can kumbaya right now because we already know what it's going to give. So it's okay.
Exactly. Okay, so switching gears with this nuclear weapon breach by Russia, right? Okay, so the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency said that the hackers posed a grave risk to the federal, state, and local governments, as well as critical infrastructure and the private sector, right? So the agency said that the attackers demonstrated sophistication and complex tradecraft, right? So what is your take on this?
Of course, we already knew all of this, right? This is not new. They want to act like it's news, but it's not new news, because we knew about this in 2016. We have several people that are guilty in this moment, but of course we won't talk about them all. But I will rush through them, starting with Barack Obama. When he got the briefing, as he was still the president, and in September of 2016, he received the briefing that Russia was colluding with the elections, and he ignored it. He specifically ignored it because of his relationship with Hillary Clinton. And he did not want it to seem as though he was being biased for Hillary, so he ignored something. And that is where it was given birth. So I know we don't like talking about it, but that is just a simple reality. He was still the president, and he decided to be weak and not say anything because he didn't want it to look like he was trying to help Hillary rather than doing his damn job. Away from that, in 2017, we knew through all of the investigations, the Mueller investigations, we knew that Russia had been attacking. So it's not a surprise that they've attacked over 30. They've attacked over 30 United States intelligence agencies. So that is a huge issue. And these were dealing with nuclear weapons, nuclear warfare. So this is a huge issue. And so when I saw William Barr talk about it, when I saw Meadows on Sunday do a news break about it, when I saw Mike Pence talk about it, I was disgusted because they were so busy trying to keep Donald Trump from looking like he used Russia to get into the White House that they left us wide open. They left us wide open. So this is what happens. If you leave your window open for someone to come through and do things, they coming through. They left the window open, and they were so ignorant to believe that it was only going to be just to collude and to try and get this election going. No, ma'am, no, sir. That was small because they won that, right? They did that and it worked, because they got Donald Trump elected. So then they saw that they had a greater opportunity and they took the chance. And
but
they got it.
Though. But check this out. Well, Biden made a statement, our president. He made a statement saying that his administration will make cybersecurity a top priority at every level of government. And he said, and we will make dealing with the breach a top priority from the moment we take office. Right. Biden this, right? Then also Biden said that pledging to impose substantial costs on those responsible for such malicious attacks, right? Then he also stated, well, also, I guess Russia is we already know they're denying that they didn't do this, right?
Of course.
But it's still, the details are still unclear. Right.
Well, here's the thing, and Biden, I'm glad that Biden did address it. He's been addressing everything directly, which is beautiful. But here's the thing. The Pentagon is still blocking Joe Biden and his transitional team from lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of major.
He's gonna uncover foolishness.
Right. But the problem with that is he can say he's doing all of this stuff, but the reality is we could be ready for a nuclear war on January 21st. There's nothing that he can do about it being sworn in on the 20th. We need these things to happen before. So it's great that he's issuing out this, but the fear is we don't know how much ammo, how much information the Russians already have. So it's great that he's saying that, but the fear still is, what do they know? Because understand, when we find out information, when regular citizens of the United States find out information, that means that they've been having this going through investigation for months and months and months and months. You know, they've been dealing with this. So that means we have no idea where we are. And to give you a better illustration, 9/11 is the best one. September the 10th is when it came out that there was something going to happen. Then September 12th, the day after 9/11, is when they had a whistleblower from the FBI to say they had gotten word that the World Trade Center was going to be attacked the morning of 9/11. So when the FBI tells us stuff, it's already in motion.
But you know what? To me, with that 9/11, I'm a conspiracy theorist, right? And clearly, and this is my opinion, these are my words, is that the United States did this with 9/11. That's my opinion. And because the reason why I say that as well too is because they had specific cameras at certain gas stations, and they turned around and they took those cameras. Then on top of that, when you looked at the Pentagon, it didn't look like a damn plane went through there. It looked like somebody shot a missile in there. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like,
well, it was definitely a plane. The reason we know it was a plane mainly because there were people on the plane that died also.
Yeah.
And we had we actually found we found ligaments of both of the flyers of those planes, and we have the history of those two, that they did come to the United States to actually learn how to fly. But I am a conspiracy theorist also, and my logic behind 9/11 is the same as Russia also, just like you, and that is, we don't know, because we know that it's always money behind it all. It's always money behind it all, but the fear still is unknown. But still, when it's the unknown, it's scary.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this: the key to that crap right there, and I always will say this, is that the power stands in the shadows. Which means you have to follow the money. You follow where that money coming from, that's where you're gonna find the source of that problem.
Yeah, but the only thing with Russia, when you're dealing with Russia and the United States, I hate to say this because this may sound a little weird to the naked ear, but it's beyond money. It's power. It's power. And so that goes beyond the dollar, because there is no dollar.
You already know this, Wendell. That also falls with the USSR back then when we were kids.
Well, yeah, but even we can think USSR when Clinton accidentally blew it up in Africa, not even realizing, when he attacked the wrong pharmaceutical plant in Afghanistan in 1995.
But then let me ask you this: so my whole deal was what I found was interesting. Okay, so the fall of the USSR, right? The fall of that was Bin Laden, the one who actually went in there, him and his team, and they actually made the fall of the USSR. So that's no longer there. Then all of a sudden, you turn around and hunt his ass down and kill him. So it's just interesting as to how this thing was falling.
Yeah, that money, power, respect is what it all boils down to. Money, power, and respect. That's like money, power, respect is like CDC guidelines. You know how to say you got to do them all. You got to wear your mask, socially distance, and wash your hands. Money, power, respect is the exact same way. You have to make all three work if you really want to capture the kingdom. You have to have the money. The money brings you to the power, and the power gets you the respect. So you have to have all three, and that's what Russia wants.
Yes, correct.
Wants, rather, and they're gonna get it.
Well, what is your opinion as far as with the Biden transition update? Because I see that our newly president that's going to be coming in, he didn't got the COVID vaccine now. Then also Sheila Jackson-Lee got the COVID vaccine. Then you have, of course, the frontline workers. They got the COVID vaccine as well. And then it was interesting because remember last week we were talking about the different vendors of the vaccine. So you had Pfizer, and then you have Moderna. So it's like
I think his transition is going as smooth as possible right now. I think that
but you did say that they are not being cooperative.
They're not.
That information that he needs to be able to transition effectively.
Yeah, they're not. They're not. But the one thing that Joe Biden was extremely intelligent on, he made a boss move on, was nominating people for positions that have already worked at the White House in these same positions, just as chief deputies of these positions, right? So these are people who can jump right in and take the wheel, right? So that's a smart move. The bad thing is, because of them being, especially the Pentagon, being so secretive still with Joe Biden and his transition team, they're still going in blind. And that was the part about 9/11. It goes back to 9/11 because Bill Clinton's administration knew things that they did not necessarily share with George Bush, because Bush and Gore were still going through their fight over Florida votes. And so that was still in court. And so Bill Clinton did not hand over the keys to the kingdom to George Bush, but he was correct in doing that because we're talking about under 500 votes that was going to change the difference in Florida. And had Al Gore won Florida, he would have won the election. So that's why Bill Clinton did not hand over the keys. The problem with that was he came into something and they already had intelligence on 9/11 coming, but he did not know about it until January 2001. 9/11, 2001. Yeah. So he didn't know about it until January, and they didn't know when it was going to happen. They didn't know where the attack was going to happen exactly. And every single day they were getting the FBI was getting emails every day saying it's going to be here. It's going to be in Houston. It's going to be in Dallas. It's like they literally was getting these places. So they had no idea. But if he would have had the intelligence sooner, he probably could have worked it better. And that's what we're looking at right now with Russia. Why does Russia want our nuclear info? They don't want it just to say they got it, sis. They want to do something with it.
Do some damage. They want to do some damage, honey.
Yeah, so this transition is scary. The transition is scary.
It is. And then also what's also scary to me too is that they have another form of this COVID-19 that's happening in the UK, and they just shut down all flights to the UK. They just shut it down because it's a different strand that's more.
Yeah, it's a stronger strand. They're saying it's stronger. It's affecting.
I'm like, look, who in this lab with this shit? Y'all need to stop.
Yeah.
Lord, we get it. Like, geez, Louise.
You know, the old people say we're living in the last days.
Yes, honey.
Because the reality is we are all like sitting ducks in so many ways. And that's why it's sad that we're not smart enough to just catch on and do what we have to do to protect ourselves and our families. That's the saddest part.
Coming with these different conspiracy theories to try to keep you from getting the vaccine. Because I've seen quite a bit of these videos where they had the little white lady got the shot, and then she to the old white lady from the movie Legion climbing up. I was dead when I saw that. Yeah, they had the 5 heartbeats.
Yeah. But a friend of the show, attorney Takasha Francis, director of neighborhoods and communities for the city of Houston, she posted a really good opinion piece today, and it was really good. I mean, on Monday, and I shared it on all of my social medias. But it was pretty much saying that people forgot about Generation Xers, us. They forgot about us until now because we're the only ones that have sanity during this time. Because we were the last and the first, right? We were the last of the get your ass outside and play. We were the last of don't keep coming in and out of that door while that ass on.
Don't be air conditioning in the neighborhood.
Right. We were the last of the telephone, the pay phones, and the house phones. We were the last of those things, but we were the first.
Call ID.
Yeah, we were the first of the computer of the technological era. We were the first of DVDs. We were the first of cell phones. We were the first of internet. We were the first of those things. So we have patience and we have resilience that baby boomers lack and that millennials will never have, because millennials have no patience and baby boomers were told to just always wait. Where we were the ones that were told to wait, but we started getting pissed off and saying, I'm tired of waiting. Why do I have to go to church every Sunday? Why do I have to give 10%? What am I going to get out of it? Like, we were the ones started adding questions to those things. So it was a really good opinion piece just showing how Generation Xers are the ones that have the resilience, the sanity at this and in this moment. We're the ones that's able to meet this moment head on and figure out things. Hell, truth to power. There was a show that was giving birth during this time, and it gave an outlet, right? It gave us an outlet to communicate and to say how we feel without putting ourselves in harm's way. So I think that we all have to get to that place where we can just be smarter and practice more we have to practice more resistance, and we also have to know how to refrain from putting ourselves in positions that can hurt us, because I think that is what is so sad about this moment. We're not meeting this moment well. We were not supposed to have over 200,000 deaths by January, and here we are in December with over 300,000 deaths.
Well, you already know where they came from. They came from the lack of leadership. They came from 45 not listening to science. They came with 45 not doing his job and downplaying this stuff. And he completely failed the American people with
He did. He did, but I don't think it's fair to blame. But I don't think it's fair to blame him wholeheartedly, because some of these things we knew better, right? We knew better than still feel like we have.
My thing is, you are the leader of the United States of America.
I'm talking about. I agree with you, but we knew better than loading up in the black church. When we know that this is going on, we knew better than loading up in Momon's house for Thanksgiving. When we knew this was going on, we knew better than feel like we still have to throw our baby that 1 year old birthday.
You gotta look at it like this too, though. And I get what you're saying. I'm still on the fact that when it comes to dealing with leadership, I'm about accountability.
Yeah, but if you're about accountability, but Dr. Matthews, if you're about accountability, then accountability has to be wholehearted. It can't be one-sided.
I'm not saying that it's not wholeheartedly. What I'm saying is who I'm targeting at this point right now is the president of the United States, because
but I'm targeting everybody.
I'm like this here. Your ass turned around and made it and try to downplay.
Yeah, I don't agree though.
Virus, and then you run around here want to talk about Joe Biden wearing a mask, and then you your whole damn staff.
But
and the White House is dirty as hell. Then
I can attack you
on us as a people, because you run around here at the damn club knowing that we're in the middle of a damn pandemic and you don't want to wear no damn mask.
And you can't blame him for that.
Bringing this shit to your grandma, pawpaw, your baby daddy, and everybody else. And people got to understand that this pandemic is not like an STD, baby. You cannot put a condom on this. Okay? Somebody could turn around and be like, hey, Heifer, how you doing? And you got the virus.
Yeah, I feel like everybody can get it in this moment, because if you were a person like me that did not like Donald Trump, did not listen to Donald Trump, did not do anything Donald Trump said to do, then it's kind of hard to blame Donald Trump if I chose to break the rules, because I was already not listening to him. So it's not fair to him for you to say he is the reason I did something incorrect. No, I wasn't paying attention to him anyway. I did it because that's who I am. Because the reality is, even a dumbass knew that Donald Trump was not the person to follow.
But
so
if you chose to do,
but wait a second, if you chose to follow him, you still have to take responsibility for choosing to follow him. It's when your mama said, if he jump off the roof, you're gonna jump off the roof. So at some point you have to take responsibility for your actions.
Okay, I get what you're saying. But my thing is, I guess the way that I'm looking at this is that, look, your ass is the president of the United States.
Definitely.
And my thing is that for you to downplay this specific deadly virus, which has claimed thousands of lives, and where people holidays is not even the same anymore because their loved ones is not here.
But it's a lot. But it's okay to say that they were all wrong. Like, it's okay to say that they were all, because I don't care how you put it. White people didn't decide they wanted to go crazy about going outside and start protesting until it came out that black and brown people were the main ones dying. So I can't blame Donald Trump for those white racists, because they were already thinking that shit before it happened. Donald Trump was not the one to tell them to start protesting. He was the one saying, keep protesting. They started protesting on their own when they realized that it was black and brown people suffering from it. And then the black people that were still going into these churches, it's because these pastors lacked leadership and were still trying to get the money. So they lacked leadership also. These club owners wanted the money. So they lacked leadership, and they chose to put people's lives in danger to make their money. Restaurants, they wanted money. They lacked leadership because they wanted money. So it goes back to what you said earlier. Everything is about money. Every single thing that we've seen outside of family engagements were all about money. Clubs, restaurants, pool house, churches, all of this was about rodeos, these cowgirl and cowboy riders in Houston and out in Texas. Like, you cannot blame Donald Trump for their ignorance because they lacked intelligence on their own. They were doing that to line their pockets. They were lining their pockets. And they were being greedy because they were still getting these loans, these BB, what is it called? The PPP.
You gotta look at what they were doing too, Wendell, and like I said, that I could jump on the bandwagon with you with this one because they were looking at wealth over health.
Yeah,
with what was happening,
and they were looking at their wealth. But they were looking at their wealth over your health.
Correct. So
and it was their own people.
Look, you gonna come to this Zydeco, let's get your jam on. And you know, to me, it was more or less like, oh my God, I see this virus jumping everywhere on everybody. I could just see 14, 15 days, and it's gonna be a done deal. These hospitals are gonna be full. Oh my God. And then on top of that, what really kind of gets me too, and I have to kind of still stay on my hood. I'm gonna be straight up. Where they got doggone masks? Where okay, and my thing is, don't be running around here. You know, still keep your distance, keep your 6 feet distance, but you need to wear that mask, baby, because
it ain't gone.
You want them to come over here bringing us the EBGBs.
It's not gone. It's still here, baby.
It's still here.
It's still here.
Ain't gone just because you tired of it. Don't be gone.
So I think we all lacked in ways, because I definitely lacked in ways also. And I take my responsibility because I too was getting tired of being in the house. So as soon as Papa Do's opened back up, me and one of my friends, we were there the very first day, 10 o'clock in the morning, because we just wanted to feel like we were back doing something. But the reality is we could have sacrificed. Yeah, but the reality is we could have sacrificed. You know, that is just the reality. People could have sacrificed Thanksgiving.
Oh my God, like I get it.
And if we ever want to get back to normal, we got to do it.
But see, the thing about it is everybody wanted to go back to normalization. And I'm just going to be straight up. I really don't feel that we're going to get back to the normalization because it's always some more bullshit that's going on.
I agree. I think that the world we knew before March 10th, 2020 is gone.
Bye-bye.
But I think that the new world we're going to live in, I think is fine. Like, I think it's fine because I think we should have been more careful anyway.
But you know what this remind me of? Because, you know, they always say the movies tell a lot of stuff, right? And this reminds me of, you remember the movie Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone? And what ended up happening with Judge Dredd is that, you know, when they would go and have sex and stuff like that, they put on a helmet because they were saying bodily fluids is disgusting. I think that is what's going to happen.
We've learned a lot. But the reality is we've learned a lot. Like I said on the show several times that why in the hell were we not demanding that waiters and cooks were wearing masks over their face any damn way? We were more concerned with a hair follicle than we were spit. You know, like, that's just the truth. We see all these shows where chefs screaming in the kitchen. That mean they screaming over our damn food. And we ain't said a word, but we go crazy when we see a little piece of hair. Like, we should have been onto these things. And then why do we shake hands all the fucking time? Why do I have to shake your damn hand? I don't know where your hand been. You don't know where my hand been.
It's funny that you say that because I'm going to tell you, I am this person. When I go to a restroom, I'm looking through the crack to see if you washed your damn hands before you left out of there. I'm looking at to see, wait a minute, they done got in this bathroom and blew it up. I got a problem, and then you gonna run up out of here and wash your damn hands.
Yeah, you know, I've always been a hugger. I always tell people I'm a hugger. They think I'm a hugger because I'm affectionate. No, I'm a hugger because I'd rather tap your coat than shake your nasty hand. So when I hug you, I'm touching your clothing. I'm not touching your bare skin. And that's why I'm a hugger. I don't want to touch your damn home.
And then, you know what, Wendell, it's interesting that you said that too, because let's go back to like when they used to do the potlucks. I didn't eat everybody's food.
Oh no. Well, you know, that's an outside thing though.
Oh, and then look here, and don't let me find out you got a cat in your house.
Oh, baby. But these are Northside Houston things. This is Northside Houston, y'all. Because baby, first off, don't make no spaghetti for strangers because I'm not gonna eat your spaghetti.
At all.
I'm not gonna eat your meatloaf if I don't know you because I know you. I know you smush that shit with your bare hands. No, I'm not gonna eat that. Okay. Like it's just. I'm not doing. If it's a potluck, my grandfather used to always say, "My stomach tell me if it ain't cooked right." He used to always say, "Don't put that on my plate." It made my stomach hurt when I saw it.
No, but you know what used to kill me though, and I'm gonna say this, and then we got to move on. You remember back when we were younger, and when a person walked past you and they don't have a good smell, that's a problem for me.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna eat food. I ain't gonna do none of that shit. Okay.
I'm not even hungry.
I ain't hungry.
When I smell you, I've lost my appetite. And if you try to make me eat something, I'm gonna punch you. I'm not eating nothing. Well, long story short, y'all, stay out of Golden Corral, stay out of Ryan's. Don't let nobody breathe over your food. Buffets are over. Over. I think
get me in no Golden Corral no more.
Candace, I think we may need to think about opening up a bar where we let people make their own damn drinks, and we just have a bartender to guide them in the right way. Because I don't even know if I want you stirring my damn drink no more. Because sometimes they'll put a straw and taste it to see if it's right. I don't know if that straw was the first time going in that cup. I don't want you putting your straw in my damn cup. I don't care if it's a fresh straw or not. Don't suck out nothing that I'm about to drink. I didn't think about that. That's a business idea.
That right there is gonna cause a problem for me.
Yeah, but even in the kitchen, I've seen chef shows where they dip their finger.
Nah, I ain't with that.
Girl, I'm gonna beat you up.
I was just about to say. Okay, so moving on, we got to move on to our last topic, guys. Now, this is more of a local issue that's happening right now that's still developing, and it is alleged that our newly District B City Councilman Tarsha Jackson allegedly don't live in the actual city limits of the city of Houston. So it was also brought that it may be a possibility, allegedly, that it may be a actual lawsuit that's going to come down the pipe to unseat her. So they said that this, now I did a little research that this has actually happened before with a council member candidate, and come to find out they actually didn't live in the city of Houston. So I really don't know the gist of it, but I know that it was information that was sent to us, and it looks like
shaky.
It looks like District
Shady.
B is going to have a problem. I don't know. I just don't know, because it's like,
what is that? She's on city council, right?
Yeah, she got sworn in today, and then
Is
also
that the black lady, isn't she?
Yes, it is, and I think that she would do a good job as well, either her or Cynthia Bailey. But my thing is, right now, what the word is on the street is that now I got to bring what the streets are saying. The streets are saying that as soon as she got sworn in, she about to get up out of there. That's what the streets are saying.
So they're gonna go after her as soon as she get in.
Yeah. So the thing, and also
so wait, back up a little bit. So where? Back up a little bit. So allegedly, where does she live? Like,
well, see, I can't really. I'm not going to.
I mean, like, what? But I mean, like, are you saying like when I say outside of
not in? Allegedly, she's not in the city
limits. Okay, so she's not in city limits.
So there, allegedly, is going to be a lawsuit that's going to challenge this. I don't know exactly which party that it's going to come from, because again, this is still developing, but the streets are stalking.
Well, it could be a bipartisan, because the person that was next under her was still a Democrat also. So if she doesn't get it, it's still going to be a Democrat that's going to take the seat. But a city,
city talking about, like, because I love Cynthia Bailey.
Yeah, but
And
city campaigns are not supposed to be partisan anyway, right? So that's why it's not normally a big deal what party you're representing. But in this case, it is a Democrat that would take the seat if she was to be unseated. But here's my thing with this. Number one, whoever was in charge of the applicants didn't do a good enough job. Right. They didn't do a good enough job. And so obviously somebody dropped the ball there. The other part of that is that was a long time ago that she won. She won a long time ago at this point. So somebody should have brought it up before now. I hate dirty politics. This is dirty politics when you wait until right before she's sworn in to do this, when you had this information so far ahead. But the other part of that is I think I told you about this already, that my house, sometimes it states that I'm in Brazoria County. Sometimes it says I'm in Harris County. I am literally in Harris County. I know I'm in Harris County, but because of zoning issues, sometimes it's borderline. And so those mistakes can happen. So someone could easily say that I'm outside of city limits and make a mistake and say that, because it does show up that I'm outside of city limits. But
I just think, the people, and District B is where we're from. That's where we grew up at.
Right.
And I just really would like for them to have the proper representation regardless. You know what I mean? Because that area needs it. And that area also needs economic development, because it is not the same when we were there. It looks like it's a wasteland there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like back when we were living in that area, when we were children, it was popping, it was thriving, people would get money. The school, this was one of the only African-American school districts in the state of Texas.
And the schools were packed.
And it was packed, and it was excellent products that came from out of these districts, out of that specific district. So
we're gonna have to see how this plays out.
Yeah, we
have to see how it plays. But I have a lot of question marks, because I'm like, who checked this paperwork? What type of investigation did they do to check these things? Because your address is very important when running for city office. It's super important, because everything that's one of the only things that guarantee if you can run. Outside of that, because you can have a record, you don't have to have a degree. Like the only real thing you have to be is old enough and live in the city. Like
and know your area.
And know your area.
And these constituents trust you.
But it also makes me look at her too, though, because to me, sis should have been ready for this. Like, if I was to ever run for office, I would already be prepared if I still lived in this house, which I know I won't be living here. But if I still lived in this house, I would be prepared. So if it ever came out, I would be able to push it out, right? I'll be able to shut it down.
I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna go based on my opinion. I feel that she may have been ready for this.
Yeah.
I just find it.
She was. I like her.
Yeah, I actually like both of them. I like her, and I like Cynthia Bailey. Either one of them, I think, would be an excellent person for District B. I'm just saying. I like
Cynthia Bailey.
I like Cynthia.
Cynthia Bailey is a great professor at the Texas Southern University, 3100 Cleburne, Houston, Texas 77004. If you ever have a chance, stop by. If you want to make a donation, go to tsu.edu and click on that alumni affairs. You can feel free to make a donation to support the Black and brown minds of Houston that are going on to take over the world. Now, finish by Cynthia Bailey.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this again. I like both of them. You know what I mean? And I think
this is cute.
And either one of them, I think, would do District B well. I just don't want no more controversy happening in District B, because it's long overdue. It's enough already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really want to see that. Let's just get the work done so they can bring the economic development back to District B. That's basically what I really would like to see. I really would like to see where we grew up as children to look like.
I would love to have Cynthia Bailey on the show. We should probably bring Cynthia Bailey on the show.
Well, I may have to give her a call.
Yeah, let's try and make that happen, because Cynthia Bailey is she co-chair or something for the Democratic Party, Texas Democrats or Houston Democrats? She's something.
Yeah, we'll have to get on the show. I'm happy to give her a call.
And like giving everybody props, says Dr. Cynthia Bailey. All right. Well, guys, it has been a wonderful night. We have talked about a little bit of this and a whole lot of that. So I want to make sure that y'all remember to share, and like, and subscribe. We are Truth to Power Uncut. That is on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube, like and share on everything else, and join our pages and send us some information if you have some questions or something you want us to talk about, or if you disagree with something we said. Let us know, because that is how we become better and greater, by getting feedback from everyone else. Dr. Matthews, it has been a beauty talking to a beauty for an hour.
And you already know how we do. And I so love talking with you as an effective communicator that you are, because it steps my game up. Okay. I feel like that I'm defending a dissertation every time I'm on here. Okay, like you make a sister bring it, honey. And
but
that's
one thing we know is that you have credentials to prove that you know how to defend a dissertation.
And there it is. And then also, I'm like, what's his name? Baby, put some respect on my name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm all about credentials.
Respect on all that. So then I would just say this, is that at the end of the day, is that this platform that we have created, we want you all to be able to leave with something. Okay. Yeah. We don't want to all the time have you guys leaving with the messy politics and all that, because that's not really what we're about. You know what I mean? We're about speaking the truth to power. We're about empowering. We're about you guys leaving with information so you can better your family and your situation. That's what we all about here. Yeah. So I would say this. Let me go on and give our quote for the night. People that elect corrupt politicians, imposters, thieves, and traitors are not victims, but accomplices. George Orwell. I'm going to say that again one more time.
And I like George Orwell.
I love him. People that elect corrupt politicians, imposters, thieves, and traitors are not victims, but accomplices. George Orwell. I so love him.
Come on, Republicans. Come on, and pro-Trumpers. Come on. They say all such Christians, but come on, you're an accomplice. You're a part of the crime now, sis.
Yes. So you voted for him. You entertaining the foolery. You fool.
Yeah, you're not a bystander. You are a part of the crime.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Well, Dr. Matthews, it's been great. Give a great shout out to Dr. Goodluck. He is our amazing producer that keeps us together. And until next time, I want y'all to remember that if you are not truly speaking truth to power, you are not fighting the power. You are simply blowing kisses in the wind. You are throwing your fists, but never landing. Have a great week and go out and be powerful.
And may the shade be with you.
Blue, blue.
Good night, guys.
Peace.
Bye.